For the very first time, we are hearing from the woman at the center of a lawsuit involving Dolton Village trustee Andrew Holmes and the mayor, Fenia Dukes. The woman accuses Holmes of sexually assaulting her. NBC 5's Regina Waldrop has been working on this story for several months.
She's the mayor's former assistant, and we want to make it very clear, we did not interview her. She provided us with a link to a pre-taped statement that details what she says happened during and after a taxpayer-funded trip to Las Vegas. She says she's a survivor of an assault, and the time has come to share her story.
But this has been a long journey for me already.
Fenia Dukes filed this civil lawsuit against her old boss, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and trustee Andrew Holmes, accusing Holmes of assault and Henyard of retaliation.
I'm fighting for every woman that's been in my position. I'm fighting for a sister that doesn't have a voice. I'm fighting for a sister that's scared.
The incident allegedly occurred May 24th last year during an economic development trip to Las Vegas that's now under federal investigation. On that trip, Henyard, a handful of Village and Thornton Township reps, and trustee Andrew Holmes, whom Fenia called Uncle Drew.
He made everyone feel comfortable. I've even been in places by myself with him, in cars, wherever, by myself, plenty of times before ever anything. And he's never gave me an inkling of he'll harm me, he will make a pass at me. He's never done any of that.
According to the suit, after dinner and walking the Las Vegas Strip with trustee Holmes, Fenia felt disoriented and ultimately blacked out.
Until my last memory was me waking up in his room.
The suit details a conversation between Fenia and Officer Byron Miles when they returned from Las Vegas. Miles was a member of Henyard's security detail at the time. He claimed Holmes told him he had unprotected sex with Fenia in Las Vegas. The suit also alleges Holmes, in a video call to Officer Miles, showed Fenia partially undressed in his hotel bed. Officer Miles advised Fenia to seek medical care, according to the lawsuit.
You're the only person that stood up for me, opened your mouth.
According to the lawsuit, Fenia claims she was fired shortly after bringing the accusation against Holmes to Henyard. Officer Miles was removed from his role in the mayor's security detail and demoted to patrol duty. Miles has also filed a civil lawsuit, and the Department of Human Rights launched an investigation. The village told us in a statement it conducted a thorough investigation into the allegations led by an independent third party. It goes on to say Officer Miles was interviewed and denied knowing anything about the allegations. Ms. Dukes refused to cooperate with our investigation, it says. This is nothing more than two disgruntled village employees trying to make off with taxpayers' hard-earned dollars. The village looks forward to defending these allegations. Trustee Holmes didn't respond to our repeated requests for a comment. Fenia says she started a foundation to support women like her.
Hoping that if you are a victim, please find your way to contact me or any of my people, and we're going to help you. Because you need a voice, and if you don't have your own voice, I will be.
Dalton trustees hired Lori Lightfoot, Chicago's former mayor, to lead an investigation into Dalton's mayor. Tonight's village board meeting gets underway at 6:30. In Dalton, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC 5 News.
Lots of action in South suburban Dolton tonight. It is the first board meeting since 3 subpoenas were served on the village. Also tonight, we are hearing from a former employee who says a trustee and well-known community activist assaulted her. NBC 5's Regina Waldrop was at tonight's board meeting.
Outside and inside Dalton's Village Hall, residents demanding to be heard.
And the FBI know. They know everything you're doing.
We want better in our community. Period. When it's going to take, next election, we got to vote her out.
In the group that gathered before the board meeting, the mayor's ex-assistant, Fenia Dukes.
At first, it was like it was just me by myself. And a year later, for me to see y'all standing with me, thank you. Thank you so much.
Dukes has filed a civil lawsuit against her old boss, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and trustee Andrew Holmes, the latter of whom she accuses of assaulting her. Dukes issued this pre-taped interview earlier in the day describing the lawsuit's allegations.
This has been a long journey for me already.
In the video, she details what she says happened before and after an incident that allegedly occurred almost a year ago during a taxpayer-paid economic development trip to Las Vegas. On that trip, Henyard, a handful of Village and Thornton Township reps, and trustee Holmes, whom she called Uncle Drew. According to the suit, after dinner and walking the Vegas Strip with Holmes, Dukes felt disoriented and ultimately blacked out.
until my last memory was me waking up in his room.
Holmes was not at the meeting and did not respond to our repeated requests for a comment. Dalton police officer Byron Miles was also on that Vegas trip. He's also filed a civil lawsuit accusing Henyard of retaliation after he says he was demoted from her security detail for speaking out about what allegedly happened in Vegas.
You're the only person that stood up for me. Opened your mouth.
The village told us in a statement it conducted a thorough investigation into the allegations led by an independent third-party company. It goes on to say Officer Miles was interviewed and denied knowing anything about these allegations. It says Ms. Dukes refused to cooperate with the investigation and that this is nothing more than two disgruntled village employees. But trustees maintain there was never any third-party investigation. They recently hired former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot as a special investigator. But Mayor Henyard says trustees don't have the authority to hire Lightfoot.
You know, it's veto power, so how dare you think you could come in someone's town and start working or doing something, even though we sent something stating it's illegal. We cited the code and everything in here, and she will not be paid for services.
Lightfoot was to be paid $400 an hour, but at this point it's unclear if she will continue working without payment. Her investigation expected to be completed in 60 days. Reporting from Dolton, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Regina, we know you will stay on it. Thank you so much.
New developments tonight in the criminal investigation happening in South Suburban Dolton. NBC5 News has confirmed another subpoena was delivered at Village Hall earlier this week, requesting specific information about Mayor Tiffany Henyard and other key figures in her administration. Our Regina Waldrop's been on this story from the beginning. She takes a deeper look tonight at the records that federal authorities are requesting and what's next.
A source close to the investigation provided NBC5 with this copy of the latest court order. It asked for a variety of financial reports like budgets, accounting records, and receipts for Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Village Administrator Keith Freeman, and Trustee Andrew Holmes, as well as several other companies and individuals. Plus, any records related to Henyard's charitable organizations. The subpoena also requests all travel records paid for by the municipality, including a trip taken to Las Vegas in May of last year. On that trip, both the mayor's former assistant and a Dolton police officer. They've both filed a civil lawsuit accusing Holmes of assault and battery and Henyard of retaliation. Regarding the lawsuit, the mayor and Holmes both declined to comment. The first two grand jury subpoenas were served April 10th, asking for personnel and disciplinary files for nearly 30 people. The subpoenas also ask for documents related to Keith Freeman, the village administrator recently indicted on charges of bankruptcy fraud. His attorney told us he has no plans to step down. A few days ago, the law firm representing the village in at least 19 lawsuits in Cook County and federal court said it's planning to withdraw from the cases May 8th due to lack of payment. NBC5 has obtained a copy of the letter sent to the village by the Delgado law firm of Berwyn. 4 Dolton trustees recently appointed Lori Lightfoot, Chicago's former mayor and a former federal prosecutor, as a special investigator. The next village board meeting set for Monday at 6:30. Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Thanks, Regina.